In a move that has stunned Hollywood insiders and royals watchers alike, Disney has reportedly turned down Meghan Markle and Prince Harry after a series of unrealistic and unconscious demands that left executives baffled and uninterested. While the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have long positioned themselves as progressive, media-savvy voices for change, their latest attempt to capitalize on their fame appears to have hit a brick wall, and it wasn't just because of creative differences. According to multiple industry sources, Disney walked away not just from a potential deal, but from a dynamic they deemed too difficult, demanding, and delusional. This isn't the first time Meghan Markle has found herself at the center of controversy, far from it. Since stepping down from royal duties in 2020, she and Harry have aggressively sought to build their own media empire, striking massive deals with Netflix, Spotify, and others, only to see several of those relationships unravel. Spotify famously parted ways with the couple in 2023 after producing just one podcast season, calling them grifters in off-record comments that spread like wildfire. Now, it seems Disney, one of the biggest players in global entertainment, has taken a similar stance, refusing to bow to what insiders call Meghan's Hollywood meets royalty fantasy demands. Sources close to the situation say Meghan and Harry pitched an animated project centered around themes of empowerment and social justice, which is typical of their brand. But things quickly spiraled when Meghan allegedly insisted on full creative control, demanded a production budget significantly higher than industry standards for such projects, and pushed for Disney to commit to an exclusive distribution agreement all before a script was finalized. She came in not as a creative partner but as a power broker, said one executive familiar with the meeting. There was no understanding of how things actually work in animation or production. It was as if being a duchess entitled her to dictate terms to a century-old company. Even more perplexing to Disney was the insistence on branding and optics. Meghan reportedly wanted her royal title prominently used in all marketing materials, despite the British monarchy's clear distancing from her commercial ventures. The couple's repeated invocation of their global influence also raised eyebrows, with one insider saying, "There was an assumption that being Meghan and Harry was enough, that the substance didn't matter because the brand would carry it." To Disney's credit, the company didn't fall for the glitz. In fact, they recognized a pattern. Since their infamous Oprah interview in 2021, Meghan and Harry have courted headlines more for their drama than their actual output. Whether it's the highly criticized Netflix docuseries, the failed Spotify podcast, or the stalled Archewell brand initiatives, the Sussexes have increasingly been seen as overpromising and underdelivering. In Hollywood, that's a death knell. Moreover, industry executives are growing wary of the duo's perceived victim complex. Meghan's repeated narratives about being silenced, misunderstood, and mistreated, whether by the British press, the royal family, or the entertainment industry, have worn thin. A senior producer at a rival studio put it bluntly, "At some point, you have to stop blaming the world and start showing the work." Meghan hasn't shown she can deliver on anything beyond controversy. And that's what makes Disney's decision so telling. For a brand that thrives on reputation and family-friendly storytelling, aligning with a couple mired in ongoing public disputes was simply too risky. Meghan's desire to use the Disney platform to reshape her public image while retaining full control and dictating terms was a gamble that didn't pay off. In the world of content creation, even royalty must play by the rules. It's also worth noting that this rejection marks a broader shift in how Hollywood views Meghan Markle. While she was initially welcomed with cautious optimism, a biracial actress turned royal with a modern take on fame and influence, her continued efforts to intertwine celebrity activism with commercial deals have not resonated. Critics argue that her approach often lacks humility, depth, and the collaborative spirit essential to the entertainment business. Meghan's defenders will undoubtedly claim that sexism, racism, or elitism is behind the rejection, a well-worn strategy that has defined much of her post-royal narrative. But increasingly, the facts paint a different picture, one where inflated egos, unworkable demands, and a misunderstanding of industry norms have turned once willing partners into reluctant skeptics. Disney's quiet but firm no is more than just a missed business opportunity for the Sussexes. It's a public reminder that even the most recognizable names can be shown the door if they confuse fame with entitlement. In a town built on collaboration, no one, not even a duchess, is above accountability. With this latest door slammed shut, the question remains, will Meghan and Harry finally recalibrate, or will they continue down a path of self-inflicted exile from the very industry they so desperately want to conquer? Only time and results will tell. Thus far, the results speak for themselves and they're not flattering. Since their dramatic exit from royal life, Meghan and Harry have burned through the goodwill of audiences and partners alike. What began as a promise of authenticity and change has dissolved into a pattern of unfulfilled contracts, public grievances, and superficial content. The Netflix docuseries, while initially drawing large viewership, was met with sharp criticism for its lack of substance and over-reliance on victimhood. Their Spotify deal ended in embarrassment, and Archie, their non-profit media hybrid, has yet to produce anything of cultural significance. Insiders suggest Hollywood is catching on fast. At first, there was curiosity, says one agent from a major talent agency. Now there's fatigue. People are realizing that behind the glitz, there's not much grit. Disney's rejection may be the final wake-up call. The entertainment world, unlike the royal one, doesn't grant automatic reverence. It rewards consistent delivery, collaboration, and humility, traits that, by many accounts, Meghan and Harry have failed to exhibit. If they want to be taken seriously beyond the headlines, the Sussexes must pivot from entitlement to execution. Because in Hollywood, as in life, there are no crowns, only credits.